You're watching Color 10 News at 10 in high definition.
A new traffic signal in the Ozarks may give you some pause. Good evening once again, everybody. I'm David Oliver.
Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Jennifer Kilman. MoDOT leaders say that's the point. A flashing left turn signal is now fully operational in Mount Vernon off I-44. Color 10's Matt Lupoli spoke with drivers there and also found out what's behind the change.
Jennifer, this new signal directs drivers from Route 39 onto I-44. MoDOT officials tell us the move is all about safety, and so far, drivers say it has encouraged an extra bit of caution.
Well, I didn't know what it was for sure. I thought maybe the light was misfunctioning.
But the new left turn signal along Route 39's on-ramps to Interstate 44 in Mount Vernon, just installed Wednesday, is functioning just fine.
Drivers learned them very, very quickly.
This flashing yellow arrow replaced a green bulb, and while the light has changed, its message hasn't.
And that basically means the same thing. You still have to yield to all oncoming traffic.
District Traffic Engineer Joe Rickman says the new yield signal cautions drivers more clearly.
Well, mainly it's safer. I mean, that's really the top reason is if you think about it, if you're not paying as good attention as you should, and unfortunately some drivers don't, and you see something go green and you're in that lane, some people just go, oh, I can go, and by the time they realize it's not an arrow, it's a green ball, it's too late and they've had an accident.
Drivers we spoke with agree since it did give them pause.
Make you slow down and kind of think twice before you just go.
Get their attention quicker.
The new lights are a statewide initiative and a new national standard, so we'll likely see more of them soon.
And there'll be several signals in a row that will have this new indication. Hopefully cause you to see it. It blinks, it's grabbing your attention, it's yellow, you know, everything that you normally associate with caution is what this is designed to do. So.
And while these signals are new to our MoDOT district, there are others around the state. The first left turn lights went up in St. Louis a few years ago as a trial. MoDOT said studies from back then prove they are a safer solution.
All right, Matt, thank you. Well, Jamie Warner is back now from the Bucket Blitz where he was this afternoon. He has your Ozarks First forecast.
Hi, guys. Yeah, and just to kind of reiterate what we were talking about earlier on in the evening, raised almost $8,000 over the last 3 days with the Bucket Blitz. And just want to thank everybody that came out and helped out with that. And also folks that still may go out and donate at the kettle locations that we have across town and across the region. And, of course, I was out there this evening, and the sun had gone down. And just like the previous 2 days, it's once the sun goes down that it starts feeling cold out there. We did manage to see a warm day today, though, 62 this afternoon. Haven't done that since way back on the 4th. If you remember back to that Wednesday, that wonderful Wednesday before the cold set in and then the snow and ice set in, well, we finally saw temperatures right up there where we were, a couple of weeks ago. And temperatures even warmer in some spots. 64 in Joplin this afternoon and Clinton as well. Areas to the east saw cooler readings, but not by much, in the mid-50s in West Plains and Fort Leonard Wood. Skies outside right now, mostly clear to partly cloudy. Have a little bit of a high overcast moving through our skies. Temperatures with the clouds and also that breeze that continues out of the south aren't going to drop all that much. It's in the upper 40s now, and we'll drop into the low 40s for overnight lows, about 43 to start off the day on Thursday. Clouds will thicken up through the morning into the afternoon. It'll be another breezy day and mild too, with highs up near 60. Cold front goes through Friday morning, so the cold will be settling back in, and it still looks like a big storm impacting the Ozarks this weekend.
Jamie, thanks. City Utilities tonight wants to warn you about a possible payment scam. Recently, somebody got a call saying that they were from a utility company employee asking for a payment. The caller demands immediate payment or the utility service will be shut off. The scam is widespread and could potentially target small businesses and residents. CU says never give out your personal information like your credit card or banking info to callers. If you have been contacted by someone using this method, CU encourages you to call their customer service line.
Governor Jay Nixon wants to help more Missourians get into mental health care fields. Today he visited the UMKC School of Nursing and Health Studies. The governor announced his 2015 fiscal year budget proposal, which included an investment in higher education health care programs. The total funding would be $20 million toward Missouri's public colleges and universities. Nixon says after incidents around the country like Newtown and Sandy Hook, it's a wake-up call that we need more mental health care training.
We are facing a critical shortage of mental health professionals, a critical shortage. These numbers are stark. 104 of Missouri's 114 counties are designated as mental health professional shortage areas.
In the last 4 years, more than 1,500 new mental health care jobs have been created here in Missouri. An important deadline looms for people needing to sign up for health care. Monday is the last day to sign up if you want to be covered by January 1st. Mercy Hospital's enrollment counselors tell us they had many with appointments today, and they had people walking in to try and sign up before the deadline. Even though Monday is a deadline, it is not the only deadline.
With the Affordable Care Act, you have up until March 31st to enroll through the website. So if you don't make this December 23rd deadline, you can still enroll after. It'll just make your coverage start the following month, like so. From December 24th to January 15th, your coverage would start February 1st.
Mercy and Cox Hospitals have both been assisting people navigating through this process. The U.S. Senate has approved a bipartisan budget bill. It eases some of the across-the-board spending cuts known as sequestration and avoids the political brinksmanship of the past few years that culminated in a partial government shutdown in October. The House already passed this budget. Missouri Senator Roy Blunt voted no to the budget. Senator Claire McCaskill voted yes. Arkansas Mark Pryor voted yes, but John Bozeman voted no.
Tonight, new at 10, Missouri State University's $21 million renovation project to its athletic and recreational facilities is now underway. Color 10's Linda Ong is here tonight to show the work began over at Plaster Sports Complex.
That's right. Construction for the renovations is set to begin in January, so many of the athletic and recreational facilities are now in the process of being prepped. Students at Missouri State University can say so long to these bleachers at Plaster Sports Complex. It's one of many renovations and new construction underway on campus.
That's all over social media. There's a lot of excitement in the students to actually see that work begin.
Students express concerns about worn-out conditions, safety, and the need for intramural fields. University President Cliff Smart says the proposal for the renovations, valued at $21.8 million, was initiated by students. Smart says the upgrade will help the university's image and appeal.
They'll improve the appearance of the campus. They'll improve the branding, name recognition of the campus. They will make additional spaces available for intramurals and free play and checkout for groups.
The project includes improvements to 4 different areas on campus: new student bleachers at Placer Sports Complex, an NCAA regulation soccer field to be built north of Glass Hall, a new hockey and lacrosse field north of Hammond Student Center, and volleyball courts at the southwest corner of the center. The MSU Foundation announced more than $8 million in gifts from donors, a portion of which will go to the athletic facilities. The rest of the project will be paid for by central funding and added student fees.
$50 will be added to the current student services fee, but many students here at Missouri State University say it's a small price to pay for the renovations.
I'm excited for the new stadium. I'm waiting for that. It's always fun to get new stuff.
I'm really excited for it. I think it's going to look really awesome, and I think it'll be really good for our school and will bring attention to our university. And I don't think it's a very ridiculous price to pay either.
President Smart said the additional $50 to the current student fee won't be implemented until the project is complete. If all goes as planned, the facilities will be done by the fall of 2014, in time for the start of the academic year.
All right, Linda, thank you. Color 10 has more education coverage now. A small school in Arkansas is conducting a cross-cultural experiment. Lead Hill only has 180 students in the entire high school. 20 of them are foreign exchange students. In our Branson Tri-Lakes report tonight, the district brought in the students out of necessity. At the end of last year, Lead Hill was in danger of shutting down because of low enrollment numbers. Administrators learned they could boost numbers by asking families to host exchange students. The 20 students represent at least 9 countries. The superintendent says the experience has broadened horizons for both the exchange students and the Americans, too.
Our kids have blended together so much more and have learned to actually experience each other and become friends with each other. And it's just been the value to the school.
This is a really nice place if you know people well, because what makes the place is just like the people everywhere you go. If you have friends and stuff, it's going to be nice.
Host families do not receive any compensation. They are required to provide 3 meals a day, a safe place to sleep, and transportation. Well, many kids are sporting new shoes.
That's right. Early Christmas presents they got to pick out tonight.
I never went in a shoe store before.
Tonight here at 10, how many children benefited from this annual giveaway?
And if you haven't already found Color 10 on Facebook, it's easy to do. Look for the Facebook icon on ozarksfirst.com and just like our page.
Christmas came early to a group of local kids over at the Boys and Girls Club this evening.
A group of children were able to pick out new shoes as part of Payless Shoe Source's Payless Gives Shoes for Kids program. Our Lindsay Klein is here to explain. Lindsay.
David, Jen, around the world, this program is giving more than $1.5 million worth of free shoes to children of families in need this holiday season. For many kids accustomed to used and hand-me-down shoes, this will be their first pair of new kicks.
It's so great to be a part of, and I think our kids really, really need it, and that's the best part.
All three of Springfield's Boys and Girls Club locations were able to bring 50 kids to the Payless Shoe Source shoe store to pick out early Christmas gifts.
50 kids, $20, 3 clubs, 50 kids at each club. I mean, that's a lot of shoes, and we get to be a part of that.
For many of these kids, something as simple as a new pair of shoes means a lot.
There are a lot of them during this time that could use a little help and just some generosity, and we're so happy that we have the opportunity to do this for kids and that we have people in the community who support the Boys and Girls Club and who are willing to donate time and money.
It didn't take the kids long,
I think so.
to pick out the perfect pair of shoes.
They're $19.99. I feel happy, lucky.
In its 6th year, the program is going strong.
For a lot of them, they just come here and think, I'm getting a pair of shoes, but there are some kids who are they come here and they're brand new pairs of shoes, and it's huge for them.
The kids could pick out the shoes of their choice.
I like them.
Just as long as they were under $20.
Excited and a little shy.
Really?
Because I never went in a shoe store before.
Was it fun? For some of these kids, it was an experience they won't forget.
They're grateful and appreciative and polite and respectful, and that's really wonderful.
Does it feel like Christmas kind of came early? The program reaches all 50 states, Canada, Puerto Rico, and 11 Latin American countries, guys.
All right, Lindsay, thanks.
Jimmy's back with a check on the forecast now.
Yeah, and things really aren't moving yet, but once we get into Friday, that's when the weather starts to get interesting. In fact, it looks like parts of the area could see some wintry weather as early as Friday morning. A look at that, and that big weekend storm we've been watching for the last week and a half. Details on that coming up.
And now weather with Color 10 News Chief Meteorologist Jamie Warner.
Well, not too bad out there right now. It's temperatures way above freezing. I mean, we would have taken this at any point last week. 48 right now. Winds breezy out of the south-southeast at 15 miles per hour. And they're breezy across all of the area, generally out of the south at around 15 to 20 miles per hour. Those winds won't die down all that much, and they'll likely pick back up again during the day on Thursday. So Thursday, we can count on another breezy day, just like we had today, although the wind speeds may not be quite as high due to cloud cover that's rolling into the area now. And you can see those high clouds sort of spreading in from the west. Where's that next storm coming from? The one that we're going to find this weekend? Well, here it is right here. Doesn't look like much, but this little chunk of upper level energy right there, it's going to make its way down the west coast and then around the bend here in the southwestern U.S., and it will kick out this weekend, and it will lead to an area of low pressure which will develop about right here, and then that area of low pressure will cut northeast towards the Great Lakes as we head through Saturday and Sunday. And that storm is going to lead to a wide range of weather conditions Saturday into Saturday night. But in the short short term, we've actually got some very nice weather to talk about. Overnight tonight, skies will be mostly clear to partly cloudy. Temperatures aren't going to drop off all that much from where we are right now. And then for tomorrow, looks like we'll start the day off with filtered sun, but the clouds will gradually thicken up as we get into the afternoon. Temperatures, though, should still manage to get close to 60 in a lot of spots tomorrow afternoon. Now, Thursday night is when we find the front moving in from the northwest. And it looks like by 7 o'clock in the morning, that front's probably going to be located along or just south of the I-44 corridor. Temperatures will drop sharply behind that front. I think during the nighttime hours on Thursday, we're likely going to hold on to 50s for much of the night. But then the front will go through, and temperatures will tumble very quickly through the 40s into the 30s early Friday. And that's where we will be stuck throughout the day on Friday, I think in the mid to upper 30s in that range. Looks like there could be cold enough air coming in behind that front early Friday to set the stage for maybe a little bit of freezing drizzle. The greatest chances would be, I think, in areas closer to Highway 54. And then with that cold air settling in for Friday night, when that next storm starts to approach from the southwest, well, that will likely lead to another round of maybe some light freezing rain north of I-44, primarily up to Highway 54. Not expecting an ice storm, folks, but we could find some slick roadways as a result of this, particularly, I think, Friday morning and then again Saturday morning. So we'll just have to watch for that. Then the storm comes out, and that storm will cut across the area Saturday into the Saturday night time frame. Now, along that track and south of that track, there will be the risk of severe weather, and I've got that area shaded in red. I think for us here in the viewing area, it'll be south of a Yellville to Alton line. So maybe Oregon County, Fulton County, Baxter County. These are the counties that may see a strong to severe storm risk develop Saturday afternoon into Saturday evening. But most of the area, it's going to be just a heavy rain threat. And we could see maybe 2 inches of rainfall with a few spots to the southeast, possibly picking up as much as 2 to 3 inches. That could lead to some flooding as a result of the saturated soils from the snow melt that we've just gotten done with. As far as the snow, I think the heavy snow is going to stay northwest of us. But we could see a changeover or a period of light snow or flurries, at least along and north of I-44 on Sunday, that could lead to maybe minor accumulations or a dusting. Overnight tonight, we'll find mostly clear skies down to 42 for an overnight low. Looks like for tomorrow, we'll find temperatures warming to about 59 degrees with breezy winds out of the south at around 10 to 20 miles per hour. 60s possible to the west and south. Forecast after that gets cold. In fact, it looks like stuck in the 30s on Friday. Saturday, a real struggle just to get over 40 degrees. I think we'll start the day off on Sunday with a temperature of about 34, with temperatures falling below freezing during the day, around freezing for a high on Monday. But the days going into Christmas Day, Christmas Eve and Christmas Day itself look like we'll see those milder readings return.
And I think we keep forgetting that it's not even winter yet. Winter
does that
starts the
start?
21st, Saturday, when it gets colder.
There you go. But usually they think of, the beginning of December as like the beginning of the winter season. I also want to add that Christmas Day night, we could see some flurries.
Merry Christmas.
There's a possibility
from
with that.
Jamie
Be watching, Jamie.
Warner.
Thanks.
My wife can score more than 2 buckets on 11 shots because I know my wife will at least shot fake 1 time.
I have so missed that right there. Southern Illinois coach Barry Henson went off after last night's loss.
Dan Lucy's up next with more on that, and the Lady Bears look forward to Mizzou.
Every time they don't do something what we do, we just put them on the treadmill or push-ups. We've done that a little bit, but we'll just be more consistent with it. To me, when you've got a young team,
And now, Color 10 Sports with Dan Lucy.
Well, anybody who follows Missouri State basketball knows the passion that former coach Barry Hinson has for the game. He's now in his second year at Southern Illinois. His team did not play well in a loss to Murray State last night. The Salukis are 2-8. His post-game news conference has gone viral.
Our guards were awful. Our 3 starting guards had 1 assist and 7 turnovers. They must think it's a tax credit. It's unbelievable how our starting guards played. And let's talk about our big guys. 2 for 11. How can you go 2 for 11? My wife can score more than 2 buckets on 11 shots because I know my wife will at least shot fake 1 time. But those guys aren't listening. They're uncoachable right now. I mean, you saw how we turned the ball over. We made 3 turnovers tonight where we just came down and threw them the ball. I swear I thought one time that one of our players said Merry Christmas. I thought it was a gift. To me, when you've got a young team, it's a lot like house training a puppy dog. You know what? When the dog does something wrong, bad dog. Well, I'm not going to hit him. I'm not going to swat him.
Southern Illinois coach Barry Hinson has apologized for his tirade, but only for naming one of his players. Hinson said that he is not going to fake who he is. He's an emotional coach who loves his players, and said naming one of those players was wrong. Saluki Athletics Director Mario Mucha is standing by his coach. Mucha telling ESPN that Hinson's a good man, but he can have these Yosemite Sam bombastic outbursts. Barry and the Salukis will be in Springfield on January 25th. And Missouri State coach Paul Lusk understands how frustrating coaching college basketball can be. Last night, Lusk took his Bears into Louisville to take on the 6th-ranked Cardinals. In our Bear Nation report, the defending national champs took it to Missouri State from the opening tip-off. Louisville won on a 16-0 run early in the first half and then never looked back. Cardinals won by 30, 90-60. Louisville out-rebounded the Bears 51-30, forced 13 turnovers. The loss dropping the Bears to 8-2.
We didn't respond well. They had a lot to do with it, though. They're awfully good, and we have to grow from it. We're going to watch film. We're going to get better. We have to get better on the glass. That was an issue going into the game. I thought from a turnover standpoint we were okay, but they're just very disruptive.
The 3rd-ranked Drury Panthers are in Fort Lauderdale, Florida at the Cruisin' Classic, and this afternoon played 13th-ranked Livingstone, and this was a nail-biter between 2 unbeaten teams. Livingstone cut a Drury lead late, but the Panthers held on to win 81-80. Drury is now 8-0 and has won 31 straight games. Missouri State Lady Bears continue their 3-game homestand tomorrow night when the Mizzou Tigers come to JQH Arena. It's the first time in nearly a decade that the Tigers have ventured down to Springfield to play against the Lady Bears. The last time was in December of 2004 when Missouri State won by 22 points. Last year, the two played at Mizzou Arena in Columbia. The Tigers won 91-77. Mizzou is 10-1 this year. Will be a challenge for the Lady Bears, only the 6th meeting between the two rivals since 1990.
I think it's a great rivalry for our fans and for this state. I hope it's something that we can continue, and I think it could be a very positive thing for us. Obviously, we want to come out and compete. We want to play well, and it's going to be a huge challenge for us this year.
Boys High School wrestling tonight at Kickapoo, a double duel with the Chiefs taking on both Parkview and Central. This is the 126-pound bout between Parkview's Malik Poulin and Central's Gene Kyber. The Vikings Poulin flips his opponent and then is able to pin him to get the victory. Later in the match, though, Central would get revenge when in the 120-pound bout, Patrick Rogers is able to pin Chase Foster, giving the Bulldogs a win in that weight category. Central goes on to beat Parkview 48-36. Kickapoo, though, beats Parkview 46-25, and the Chiefs also beat Central 53-30. So Wednesday night, wrestling night.
How about Barry Hinson? Bad dog. The
25th, they'll be in town.
I can't wait. Thanks, Dan.
We'll be back.
Here are tonight's winning lottery numbers. Color 10 News will continue in a moment.
Thanks so much for joining us, everybody. Have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow.
Good night, folks.